Taste of Dragons Gaming Podcast. We eat sandwiches and play games. Taste of Dragons Gaming Podcast. A podcast for everyone's taste.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Taste of Dragons, the Toddcast, the video game podcast that all you farmers listen to. This week, below the Nioh Club, autonomous spirits live. The news is super hot, our topic will finally be digestible, and our dragon this week is a concerned ape, Stardew Valley creator Eric Barone. And as always, my name is Brian.
My name's Troy.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Lewis.
And I'm Joe.
Hey, the news is a little bit better this week. Everything's still out there, though, but at least, nothing more crazy has happened as far as I saw.
Right.
It's still 2020, but things are looking up.
Yeah, maybe.
Nothing worse has happened. Everything terrible is the same.
That is very true.
Yeah.
We're all still miserable, but like a nice kind of miserable.
Yeah.
Right? I was browsing through Netflix today, and I saw it was like Japan Sinks 2020.
Yes.
And I was like, that's weird. And I look, and it's like Japan in the year 2020. An earthquake hits, land is sinking, and an island arises. And it's like, I know this was probably in development for 2 years. But man, they chose correctly/incorrectly.
What a year to choose.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for a new island to rise up.
Right?
Specifically on the other sides of two islands on either side of Florida, since we're sinking.
Oh.
just give us a little booster if you can.
We're not sinking. The water's rising. There's a difference.
Right.
We're also eroding.
I feel like either way, it'll feel the same to us when we're underwater.
Maybe.
No, we're Floridians. We would definitely make a point pointing out that it's like, hey, we're not sinking. The water is coming to us.
That's right.
This is not our fault. This is the water's fault.
You know what? That makes sense. You're right. I agree with you.
And look, we all have docks now. It's great.
Yeah.
But let's get into our games now.
What are you playing?
And this week, Lewis, would you like to start us off?
Yeah, I could start some stuff.
You gonna start a fight? What are you doing?
You know it.
Get my brass knuckles.
We would like to stick
Mandy.
to games.
There's fighting games. It's fine.
There are fighting games. That's not the game I played. Not
okay.
Really. This week I played a game titled Below, which is a role-playing roguelike game, a top-down roguelike game, which essentially means there is permadeath, which is always super fun. And so the game, you get washed up on this island on a boat, and then they don't really tell you to do anything. You just kind of have to explore this seemingly uninhabited, mysterious island. Mm-hmm. And you go into caverns and into temples, and it's all kind of accompanied by this beautiful orchestration of music as you're exploring everything, even to the point that when you sit by a campfire, the music all of a sudden swells in volume and it just kind of engulfs the campfire around you, and then when you get up, the music kind of goes back to a normal level.
This seems so familiar to me, but I can't remember it. I'm gonna look it up. Below, what does it look like? Describe to me what it looks like.
It's a top-down game, and it's very dark oriented in color.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's very low lit.
Yeah, very low lit, and especially since you go into temples and caves all the time, and there's a lot of mist going on all the time. There's not really a whole lot of. It's not really a bright game. Okay.
But not mist like the game, just mist.
Just mist.
Okay, gotcha.
Not mist like the game, just mist. But it's a beautiful game. It wasn't going to be my game originally, but the other game was kind of boring.
Hey, it's okay to talk about boring games on here too.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah. I couldn't keep playing. I was like, this is boring. I can't keep doing this.
You know what? Every experience, good or bad, is an experience and worth hearing about.
I mean, you're not wrong. I've never played a permadeath game, so when I first died, I got real angry, and then when I came, because I had read up on it before, and when I came back, it was another boat, and the boat that I had gotten there on originally was kind of broken down and in the water because it had been there for apparently what looks like years now.
Okay.
And the character, which was super small, looked a little different. He had different robes. Mm-hmm. He even moved a little faster. And then eventually I found my body, which was just bones sticking out of the ground somewhere in the caves.
Mm-hmm. Did it have your Did it have your stuff on
All
it?
the stuff.
Or?
Yeah,
it did?
it
Okay,
kept
all right.
all the stuff, so
Okay,
that's
good.
kind of really cool.
You were like, oh, look, a sword.
Yeah.
How convenient.
I was like, oh, sweet, all my stuff. I thought I lost it because I spent like a good 2 hours just exploring caves. And again, there's no, at least I haven't discovered a story. It just seems like I'm exploring this kind of endless caverns.
Okay.
On this
Feels like
island.
life.
Feels like life. Yeah, it's, I didn't think I'd like it. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of top-down games, but
Really?
yeah.
Zelda? No?
Like
Not
the
for you?
original stuff?
Yeah.
No, I never really played it.
No?
No.
Not for you?
Yeah, no, I'm an Ocarina of Time.
You want that
Boy.
behind the back.
Yeah, I want that third person. I want that third person.
You want those camera problems.
Oh, yeah. I want not being able to move camera anywhere. That's what I'm looking for.
I don't really like top-down games either. But I think it's also because I'm not a big fan of like the 8-bit, 16-bit pixelated
Yes,
art.
I'm usually not.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But-
Lewis, you are very archived. You are known. You've mentioned on this podcast many times you do not like. I think if we roll it back,
Yeah.
I think you say you hate. You vehemently just despise all of.
I don't know if I said those words.
Yeah, I'm
Whoa.
pretty sure you
I
were
think,
like,
I think
hey, if
word
it was
for word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Word for word, just
You're like,
venom.
if pixel art was in a building on fire, I don't know. I may just walk away. I'm pretty sure that's what you said.
I don't know. I know I'm not the biggest fan, but games like Moonlighter
Okay.
kind of caught my interest a little bit.
You've
which made
been
me
coming
enjoy it.
around.
Yeah,
yeah.
you know?
It depends on the game. Because like
Exactly.
Manda, you've played like Stardew Valley, which is kind of top down.
Right. Well, it's also super pixelated.
Yeah, exactly.
Stardew
So-
and Kinsey, the new one that I
Yeah.
talked about, it's all ridiculously pixelated, but it's very pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because when I think of pixelated, for some reason, the game that comes to mind, even though it's like 3D pixelated, is Minecraft.
Okay.
Oh.
I see what you mean. I thought you were going to go to like Hotline Miami.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that is
That
pixelated.
too. I don't like that game at all. and I tried playing Hotline.
I'm so sad for you.
In
Yes.
Minecraft, it's like giant pixels.
Yeah.
Is what it looks like to me, and
Right.
I can't get behind it. So
That's understandable.
if it's like too pixelated or like giant versions of that, then I can't.
How many hours have you played of it?
Of this game?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, I thought I was only playing like 30 minutes, and then I looked at the clock, and it was a good 5 hours.
So it's one of those, that's
Okay,
a good type
okay.
of game. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
Where I was like, oh, cool, I can play this. I'm gonna go do something in like 15 minutes, and I'm like, oh no, time. Where have you gone?
I thought it was just a construct. It's not.
But it's a lot of fun, and I kind of want to find out if there is a story. If not, I could just look it up, but I don't want to
No.
do that.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to do that.
No.
And explore. That's
Exactly. I paid money for it.
Make your own story.
Exactly.
Yeah, I paid more money than I probably should have for it, but yeah,
It's fine. It's fine. So that was Below?
Below.
Nice.
Below. Not
Below.
blow.
Not Below. Yeah.
Yeah.
They blow
Not blow.
like that Johnny Depp movie.
Yeah,
No.
Wait.
No cocaine.
With an E.
Below, like that horror movie. Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Nice. All right. And I will go next. The game I played this week is called Autonauts. I have talked about this before last year, maybe around October-ish.
Yeah,
if
I remember a
If my
little.
save file is correct, it was around October-ish last year. I was looking into it, and they've released probably about 6 major updates since I last played.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I could get into this.
Yeah.
Let me
Well,
get
what
back
is
into
that-
programming.
What is that game again?
So what it is it's a basically the entire game is programming robots to help you advance in society or to help build things in order to unlock more things.
oh right.
Oh, we thought they were going to come.
I remember this bit
Self-aware,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, we were pretty sure your robots were gonna uprise against you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so last time I played there was only 4 levels of civilization, and now when I started there's now 7.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh well, let's get into this.
Let's get it done.
And have you guys ever had like a paper or something that you wrote and you were very proud of at the time, and you're like, man, like I can't even imagine how to even
Yep.
like make this even better.
Third grade, my book report for Where the Red Fern Grows.
yeah.
Poetry.
Framed.
I think-
Framed, yeah.
Have you ever looked back at it?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish. Miss Pierce still has it. Miss Pierce, let it go.
Because I programmed my robots. I was like, yeah, these are great. I can't imagine how to fix, how to make this any better. So then I was playing this for about like 10 hours or so, and I was like, let me improve some of my robots. Let me see if there's anything I do. And I'm like, oh no,
what have
these
I
are
done?
all bad.
Oh,
It's like since then though, like since I last played, there was no like if statements. So like if your robot has done this, it will do this.
isn't that programming though?
That
Isn't
is, but-
programming like all if statements.
No.
It's not all, but there's a lot of because before it was all repeats. It was all repeat this thing if it's doing this. There was
Okay.
no if statements, so you had to get kind of creative. But I think in like March or February this year, they introduced if statements.
Okay.
Which has made me just infinitely better at being able to program these things. I was able to like knock out like 10 lines of code on some of them in order to just make it more better.
Wow.
And it doesn't improve it at all. It's still the same thing. It still runs at the same speed. But I just have that problem where I'm like, no, it has to be done in the least amount of things that it can be.
Of course.
Is this a top-down game? I'm having trouble visualizing. Like, how does this even work? Is it
Okay.
I just see like a big old data screen with a bunch of numbers and letters on it.
Okay,
of
so
beep boops.
you know how Diablo looks. It's
Yes.
kind of third person, but
Yeah,
you can zoom
isometric.
in. Yeah, you can zoom in though. You can still see your character in 3D.
Right.
That type of stuff. That's basically how this is.
Okay.
It's kind of not top down, but it's kind of like at a third,
Okay.
third, whatever,
And
up in the
does
sky.
the coding happen on the side, or does it happen in a separate
So-
menu and then you watch how it works?
So once you click on a robot, you see what its programming is.
Okay.
And then you just like click and drag things, and you can also you do it by showing it what to do.
Is this a farming game?
Ish.
Because I thought this was set in space.
Yeah, I thought
Until
this was-
just this moment.
Because of
Wait.
Autonauts.
I thought
yeah.
this was in space as well.
And then I looked it up and it's
so
not.
it's theoretically in space. So what it is you are colonizing
my favorite space.
You are
Theoretical space.
You are colonizing a planet.
Okay.
Okay.
So every single world is a different world in quotation marks, but
See,
it's all on
To
the
me, space is just rocks and gray.
Yeah.
I thought you were like in like black star outer
Oh, I see.
space in a spacesuit, and robots were like making. When you said colonizing, I was imagining like a space station rather than. But you're like, it's very green. You're on the
Yes.
ground.
Yeah, you're on the ground. It's all procedurally generated. So
Okay.
it procedurally generates like you have some coal places, you have ore or metal, you have swampland, you have lakes, that type of stuff, and then you're just trying to work around it and work within it in order to get things, in order to make more things. Things.
Thing.
Cool. Glad you're
But-
still enjoying that game.
Yeah, it's been really great. It's been helping me get back into programming, like I always have been. But it's been helping me get back into it because even though you were doing it by showing it, like, hey, come on over here, and like you like pick up a pickaxe, and then you walk over and you're hitting something with the pickaxe. The program learns by doing. You still have freedom in telling it how to do it, when to do it. Stock up on this one thing. There's a lot of freedom involved with it, especially with the if statements and the other couple of things that they've added so far. So yeah, I'm enjoying it though. I've probably sunk another 30 hours into it
Damn,
since I started playing this week.
Damn.
So yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Oh, right on.
So yeah, that was my game this week. Autonauts.
Autonauts round 2.
That's right. Fight.
Not to be confused with astronauts, not in space.
That is
Not
correct.
in space, but not in space. Theory space.
Astronauts are not in space?
Did you not know?
Astronauts are in space.
Oh.
Autonauts are not.
Not.
Right.
Not in
Not.
space.
Not in space.
Okay.
And then that brings us to Joe. Would you like to tell us what your game was this week?
I went back to Nioh.
Ooh.
Nioh 2.
Yeah, Nioh 2. It is,
Nice.
I have cursed a lot this week.
I have heard.
I actually almost threw a controller at one point, but then came like an epiphany of everything good that could happen to me all at once. And I started to parry, and I started to dodge, and I started to block.
What?
Yeah,
Wait,
I know.
what?
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how that worked out.
Doing
either.
new things.
Yeah, I'm still guessing, so it's just working out really well. But
Did you say yip yip and then your eyes started to glow? And then
dude, I felt like I was a god. There was dudes running over to me, giant samurai, bad word guys, and they got two swords, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm about to mess your stuff up," and I'd be like, "Yeah, come at me, bro," and then I'd knock them off a cliff with like no trouble whatsoever. I'm like, "Ha! I'm gonna take all your crap. I'm gonna even bother killing you."
You had your Neo moments where the bullets slowed down.
Oh my
You're like,
God.
I got it.
It was-
I got it.
was
Man,
amazing.
nice Matrix
So-
Neo
Yeah.
tie-in.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wow, I
Good.
like
Pop
that.
culture
Yeah.
pun.
Boom! 20 years in.
hey, they're making another one. It's still
Oh
relevant.
my God, you're right.
Oh,
You're right.
Yeah.
True.
I'm for it.
So yeah, I had like a really great epiphany in the game, and on the one level I'm on now, and I figured out how to beat a couple of the things that were really, they were things that I would be like,
nope. And I would just walk out of the room. I'd see them like, there's got to be another way to get through here. Not going to go this way, though.
Is Nioh like, hey, I'm just walking through the countryside, minding my own business, and then here comes some demon fools, and they kind of shank you? Or are you like actively looking for a fight in this game?
Your character is silent. You have no idea why you're doing what you're doing, aside from you think that you know that you're a halfling, essentially. You're half yokai, half person.
Right.
And you meet a merchant, and the merchant has clearly got yokai with them, and the merchant basically is just using your ability throughout the course of the game. They just kind of like, hey, you come with me. We're going to start some stuff.
So you're just tagging along.
So, yeah, and you don't know why, because at this point you're like, am I searching for this knife? Am I searching for my parents?
Why are you killing all these things?
Okay. So
Sorry.
The merchant meets people along the way, and he meets like the shogunate, the people in charge. And he gets them, and then you have an audience with someone who's a ruler of that area, and that ruler goes, yo, those people down there on that hill, they're trying to take my stuff. They're trying to murder my people. They are murdering my people. And there's some weird supernatural stuff going on, too.
Oh, no.
Do you know what's going on there?
Nope.
Hey, merchant guy and his silent friend, you guys should go take care of this. And your character's like, yeah, all right, I'll go. And then
So you're just muscle.
You're just muscle. And then the merchant guy stands at the beginning of the level and he goes like, yeah, that was weird, that story he told us. Good luck. And you're like, bro, you've got a yokai. Why don't you come with and help our sister out? But no, instead, this fool stands at the front of the game, and you battle your way through all of the yokai, all of the samurai, because half the time there's humans, and the humans are on a warring faction, and they run over to you and they're like, hey, I'm gonna kill you with my sword. And you're like, no, you're not. I'm gonna knock you off a cliff. And then
a lot of cliff knocking offs going on here.
I ran off cliffs a lot in the first game. So. I have a hard time not using the run button. All of my armor is made so that I could run faster, because I needed to run away from a lot of things. The faster you can run away, the faster they don't see you, and they stop looking for you. And you're like, oh, thank God, I can cheese my way through stabbing it in the back the next time I see it.
So you're saying the worst enemy in Nioh is gravity?
Oh, it's brutal. No, the worst enemy I've ever interacted with, also gravity based, was the succubus. I don't ever want to see another one of those first. It's the reason I will not play the game again.
Why? That was the first one, right?
It was the very first bad guy, and the level of difference of where you are when you start playing the game, and even if you can block and parry and everything, unless you are literally god level, you spend hours on this one bad guy, because your level compared to how much you have to hit them is obnoxious. I think I leveled up probably 30 times in the first boss level.
Wow.
There's 5 levels before that. But that one boss level, I know every single crevice of that area. I know how to kill everything as silently and as fast as possible. And then when you go over to the succubus, she just laughs and stabs you and murders you. It also would have been helpful had I realized there was a difference between lightning and paralysis. I didn't know that, so I had souped up lightning because that's what it looked like. It was paralysis. I still had nothing good about paralysis. So
Yeah, I also didn't watch that. I turned around every now and then. I watched Joe playing. I also know every crevice because that's how I'm talking.
Whereas this new one, I have not played almost any level. I'll level up 2 or 3 times. Like I'll grind during it, which I actually really like the grind. So I can't complain.
Right.
The game, it's really pretty. And whenever you do kind of have that epiphany moment, you're like, that's right, I am awesome. And then the next level, they show you something that's so much worse than the things you were already dealing with that you're like, I suck.
That was awesome.
Yeah, there's a dude now, it's one of the main bad guy, I think, of this one area, and he's just shooting lightning out of an elephant and stuff. And I'm like, all right, cool, thanks, man. Elephant yokai, he's all Hannibal and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. So that's where I'm at.
Awesome.
And I stopped today because I leveled up one more time before we came over here, and I was like, I'm gonna stop because I'm in a good place. I'm having a great time playing. I'm knocking guys off cliffs, killing all the dudes. This is the best. When I get home tonight, I'm probably like, I'm gonna throw a controller and curse a lot. It's gonna be very
just give
different.
me a cliff. Give me a cliff. I wish you would give me a cliff.
Just give me just one more cliff.
Oh, I'd throw you off so quick. Oh.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Nioh 2.
Wow.
Nice.
Me too.
I'm hoping to get it done by next week because Ghost of Tsushima comes out, and it's probably going to be the same kind of game.
That's next week.
It is next week, next Friday.
I'm so excited.
I'm not ready.
You're not ready?
Friday.
No,
Oh,
I'm not. I'm not ready.
No, you're ready. You're ready. I believe in you. We'll play it. We'll play
No,
it.
you finished your game this week. You got time.
Yeah.
Okay,
You good?
okay,
Yeah, we'll stream it. Stream it. No, we'll see.
All right, and then how about you, Troy? What did you play this week?
All right. Well, as you mentioned, I finished a game this week. It was called Last of Us 2, and I really wanted to talk to you all about it a little bit. Wait, what?
And she's going to kill you. She's going to kill you. Run, Troy, run.
Okay, I'm sorry. No, no. I actually played a game called Arcade Spirits, made by Fiction Factory Games. It came out about a year ago, February 2019. This game is just what I needed. So I did finish Last of Us, yes, but I really needed something that was not Last of Us.
Yeah, good decision. Good decision.
This game is bright. It's colorful. People are nice to you.
It puts you in the right spirits, if you will.
Yeah, there you go. You play as one character. Actually, you don't. Oh man, never mind. This is like Last of Us.
Yeah.
So to set up what this game is, you create your own character, and you're in a rut. It's a little close to home.
Okay.
You lost your job. You don't feel motivated to get a new one. Your entire family has had like a bad streak of luck with them losing jobs and just opportunities, and you're just feeling like.
Why did you
like
choose to play this? I'm confused.
You're just looking at the monitor. You're like, why is this a mirror? Why is this monitor a mirror?
It's just me.
It's like, this is an interesting premise. That's me.
Gosh. So here's the difference: is that in this world, the video game crash of the 80s never happened.
Ooh.
So it's still kind of like present day, except what if the momentum of video games just kept on going? And what that means is like video games are just like restaurants. There's plenty of them. They're all over the place. They're different fares. They're for families. They're for adults. They're for bars. Whatever. It's just normal to have games and things like that in your life. So the difference with this thing is that your best friend is like, hey, download this app. It's like a life coach, and you're like, sure. You download this app, and it's kind of like the character Her from Her.
Really?
Yeah, it's like incredibly smart AI that like adapts to you and pretty much gamifies your life.
That's kind of dope.
Yeah, it goes and it analyzes every job in the world, and it's like, okay, you want to get a job? Yes or no? I'm like, yes. They're like, okay, you may have happiness at this one, and it's at an arcade.
Nice.
And so you're pretty much, this is a visual novel, kind of romantic, mostly funny and charming type game where kind of like a Dream Daddy sort of thing.
Okay.
Where the choices you're making are mostly influenced through your choice of dialogue that you're having. And that's where this game kind of takes a nice little slant, is it pretty much has you choose from 5 different personalities or personality choices. You can be funny, you can be kindly, you can be logical, you can be neutral, or you can be or you could be aggressive. We'll put it that way. You could be aggressive. And what's cool about this is they're actually kind of coding into an actual personality code called the Hartman personality, which is actually takes like colors and assigns them to certain ways that you deal with situations.
Okay.
And this game, this AI kind of analyzes you as you do it. So it's kind of, if you answer honestly like yourself, it's really you just taking this big personality test, because what happens is towards the later episodes of the games, it'll lock out options if they aren't in line with how you've been.
Oh, okay.
So if you remember like Mass Effect 2, you could be like the nicest person in the world, but then you get to a certain part and you can like kick them off a cliff without asking.
Yeah.
Without asking, like that's the part that made it bad. It's
that's
just like
renegade.
If you didn't ask them to kill them first, it's just like, well, he didn't give me permission, so now I'm a
Oh,
jerk.
please, sir, may I kindly kick you off this cliff?
Well, yes, I would appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
This is just like
that.
This is a very cliff-heavy episode, I see.
A lot of cliffs going on.
Does it leave you on a cliffhanger?
You'll have to find out.
Oh, that's I see what you did there.
So it'll line out options that don't go with your personality for the big ones, like the big questions. And that's great because it's kind of more like real life. It's not, if I wanted to actually convince somebody to do something, if I'm genuinely a genuine person, if I'm all of a sudden really mean to them or like make a joke, it's going to come off disingenuous and they'll be like, what are you talking about? This doesn't go with what you've been saying. So it kind of honors all your choices and your personality.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
The story's great. You get a job, you get romance, you get your clout back. There's the highs and lows. It's a fun story, and it's a cool indie game. So
nice. How long did it take you to play through it?
I was about to ask.
It's a little hard to say. I started in May, but because of other games coming out, Valorant, Last of Us, and all that, I've kind of just it's been on my back burner. I don't know how long I spent. It's been like a month and a half, but it's not long. Okay. It's about 8 episodes, and I would say generally it may take you an hour to get through each episode.
Okay.
So
that's cool.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like
It's not terrible.
Nice.
Definitely made me feel very good about my situation afterwards.
Yeah.
Gave me hope.
Good. Hope is good.
That's awesome. And that was Arcade Spirits?
Yes.
Nice.
By Fiction Factory Games.
Nice. And then, how about you, Amanda? What did you play this week?
This week I played a Hatchlings.
Ooh.
So for anyone who isn't aware, Hatchlings is the segment where we introduce new and early access indie games. These are the little lizards that will pave the way for future dragons of the gaming industry. And this week I played Wintermoor Tactics Club.
Ooh, that sounds like a really brutal game.
That sounds preppy AF.
Yeah.
Wintermoor Tactics Club is a cozy, friendly, and forgiving tactical role-playing game. Unlike other violent permadeath members of the genre, Wintermoor creates a gentle and inviting atmosphere suited for all audiences. You play as Alicia. She's an aspiring writer and a longtime member of the Wintermoor's D&D club. In the game, they don't call it D&D; they call it Curses and Catacombs.
Of course.
CNC.
Oh, well, of course.
Great.
That's fantastic, though.
So Command and Conquer, nice.
Yeah.
Hey!
No, in this universe, it's like B&B. It's just the place to get breakfast.
Battles and brigades.
Battles and breakfast.
My fave.
But your CNC club gets thrown into disarray when the principal of Wintermoor announces that he's going to have a mandatory school-wide snowball tournament. And then if you don't win the tournament, your club gets disbanded.
Ooh.
Yikes.
So you have to battle with your friends in like a tactics-type game with snowball fights in order to keep your club open.
Wow.
And the game's a lot of fun. The combat is not... It's not very difficult. It's difficult enough to be interesting, but like I never lost. I think you could get like between 1 and 8 tokens, and sometimes I get 3,
Wait.
and sometimes I get 8.
But it doesn't have permadeath.
It does not have permadeath.
Okay.
If you did lose, you just have to play the level again.
Okay.
Okay.
You're a high school student in a snowball competition. You're not gonna die.
I mean, Fire Emblem was pretty much that. You were a high school student just getting through your day.
That sounds like a terrible school.
That sounds awful.
It was. It was.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But the best part of the game is that I play Dungeons and Dragons, and a lot of the jokes aren't just like winks at Dungeons and Dragons. Like they have character archetypes in the game that are just really funny.
So there's some like good D&D deep diving
Yes,
going on there.
there's like the player who cares a lot about the rules, and then like the player that's like not
Mandy.
taking the game very seriously.
Not Mandy.
and they have jokes about both of them, like something fun will happen, and they'll be like, oh, and then she flies out of there. He goes, actually, that character class wouldn't be able to fly based on the dice roll. And she's like, but they can't hear what you're saying over the sound of how awesome they are. So the jokes are really funny, and in most of these games, you can kind of recruit new people.
Yeah.
And in this one, you recruit new people by writing a D&D campaign for them. So they all have like something that they're going through. So you get to decide like, oh man, this person's really shy and they don't want to engage. How can I make them feel more comfortable? What would things that they would like that would make them want to talk, and how do I put that?
What is the action like outside of that tactical like strategy part?
You're just walking around talking to people.
So you're actually like physically moving around, or is it more like visual novel style where it's just kind of like talking heads and whatnot?
Oh, it's just you do walk around, but it is mostly visual novel style.
Okay. So it sounds like they took a really good spin on Fire Emblem.
It's
like a really fun, quirky, original spin on that kind of format.
Yes, it seems like that, but cozy and light. It's
Okay.
like it's not a very serious game. It's not like if you want to relax. It's a good tactical game without the pressure and anxiety of like a Fire Emblem.
Okay, cool.
Cool. All right. All right. Well, cool. Then that was, what was the name of that game again?
That is Wintermoor Tactics Club. It's available on Steam and GOG.com.
I missed the part where you talked about someone getting kicked off a cliff in that game.
Yeah, where was the cliff?
I think
I
you just
didn't hear-
missed. You must have just missed it.
You
I'm
probably haven't
guessing.
gotten there yet.
Yeah.
No, actually, I beat it. So
Yeah, but like
no.
there's probably like a secret
Yeah,
Oh,
level.
right. If
Yeah,
I
you-
did if I got like 8 coins on every
Exactly.
Oh,
You probably
right.
missed that.
Yeah, you play snowball on the side of a cliff. and
Yeah.
if you hit them, you
Exactly.
fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
it's like the Cliff Jumpers Club, and that's like the secret club that you can unlock
Yeah.
if you beat all the other clubs.
Yeah.
And then you have to kick them to beat them.
Yeah,
Exactly.
well now you
Right,
know.
I get it.
so.
I get it. No, thank you.
spoiler
Thank
alert.
you for telling me.
All right, well, cool. So that'll do it for our games, and now let's get into our news segment.
Nose.
Nose.
Nose?
The news knows.
The news.
That's right. And this week, let's start off with Spider-Man Miles Morales. The cover art was finally shown off.
Yes.
And with it, the PS5 artwork on the games.
Yes.
In a change, it will be a white background instead of a traditional black.
Okay.
And so instead, so it'll still say PS, whatever it says to PS5, but the entire background of that rectangle is white.
Ew.
What are your thoughts on it? Because personally, I hate it.
You are not a fan.
Because on the side,
Why?
it's just going to look like a Nintendo game. Because that's how, it just doesn't. White doesn't eschew to me a PlayStation like black would.
Well, the new PlayStation is white.
Yeah, I
so
know.
I get that. I get the connection.
I hate it.
But I also don't buy physical games anymore. So like,
yeah, you don't care.
So it matters not.
It cares to me
It
because
cares to me.
especially because I'm going to be putting it on my on the shelf underneath my TV. And
Right.
it's just going to be like,
Wait, so you're just talking about the box art?
yes,
Yeah.
No, okay, I thought you were talking about like the console.
no, the box
No.
art itself.
Just the top of it is white.
Yeah, and it is really cool also because the actual artwork also shows off his Venom touch, which if you know what it is, it's really cool.
It looks exactly like the first one, but with those obviously Miles Morales
Exactly, Miles
aspects
Morales.
to it.
Yeah. So I mean, I like the actual cover art, but what do you think,
Okay,
Joe?
so because I had to get used to having steelbook cases that don't have titles of the names of the game on it,
Yeah.
I'm really glad that's going to bother you.
Yes. Fair.
Team Petty over here will just sit back and put her little Mr. Burns hands together. and just-
Steelbook still looks so nice.
They do, not sideways
I
with no
agree.
name of the game.
That is very fair.
Yeah.
So bring it on, white PlayStation tagged stupid boxes.
Header.
Yeah.
well, no, it's more like when you turn the game sideways and you have that tiny
Yeah.
bar, it's going to be white.
I have faith in you, Brian. I think
But-
you'll find a way.
Are the Nintendo the Switches
red.
are red now? Yeah,
Yeah, they're
not
red
white
now.
anymore.
It's just white.
Oh, you mean
just
the Wii?
doesn't? Yeah, like the white
We
just
have
doesn't
those too.
scream PlayStation to me.
Right.
It really doesn't.
Well,
so.
it's going to scream very loudly come this
Yeah, it is.
November, so get your earmuffs on.
I really hope it comes with a reversible cover, so you can just reverse it and it's now black.
I have a bunch of reversible covers for
I
my
know.
Switch covers, and I have
yeah.
never reversed them because I don't like the way they look on a shelf.
Yeah.
It looks different.
Yeah.
Just throw a blanket on it, whatever. It's
Throw a
fine.
blanket over it. And then also with Sony, they invested $250 million with Epic Games.
Okay, making moves.
I know that covers my Epic Games segment this week.
That's it.
Did you
That's it.
mention GOG.com this week?
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, that was pretty
This
good.
this covers my Sony agreement, so we're all clear.
We're all good. We're all good. They said that it was a strategic investment, so no one knows what it's for. But they've worked with them on the Unreal Engine 5 demo with the PS5. So this is probably just a further investment in that. I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Hey, Epic is a good person to be friends with
yeah.
these days.
Microsoft can sell console games and PC games. Sony cannot. So I can see them kind of working closely so that they can corner
That's a
both
good
markets.
point.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it leads. I mean, at the very least, so many games are using the Unreal Engine on PS5, so maybe
mean-
that'll just help
why wouldn't
incorporating
they?
it with it. Yeah,
Why wouldn't they?
Horizon is just now getting released on Steam or Epic?
both.
Steam.
Oh, on both?
I think it's on both.
I thought it was just Epic. No,
No, I think it's
Oh,
definitely
okay.
on Steam, but I think it might be on both. I mean, I might
I'm
be
guessing it's going to be that.
Yeah.
Hey, our first party games will go to Epic first.
wrong. Yeah, it could be absolutely.
That'd be a smart move.
It would.
Yeah.
And then that is some super hot news. Speaking of which, Super Hot the sequel has been announced to be free to owners of the original.
Super hot.
And if you haven't played the game, it's really good. It's a first person.
It's a first-person puzzle time manipulation game.
Yeah, where you're getting shot at, but time doesn't move unless you move.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to say this? Is this game forcing you to say this? Has someone suggested that maybe you mention this on a podcast?
No, I don't know what I'm talking about. The
Oh,
game
okay.
itself is just amazing, and I think everyone should play it. And I
Yeah.
think if you were to go on Steam right now, you could probably find it for a pretty reasonable price.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with what the game is called, which is
Yeah.
Super Hot Mind Control Delete. Nothing,
Yeah,
nothing
no,
at all.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's a
and-
really game. You guys should look at it. It's
You
on
gu-
Steam
you
right
guys
now
should,
if you
yeah.
want to check it out.
Yeah,
It's a
and
pretty
the-
reasonable price, too.
Yeah, the sequel comes out on July 16th, and it's set to be 4 times larger than the original.
Four
So-
times
Whoa.
larger.
4 times larger.
I didn't know.
Wow.
4 times larger than the original, which
It
is a
is.
really good game on Steam. If you guys think you should buy it, you should go ahead and get there.
Delete.
It's a pretty
Hit
reasonable.
delete.
Oh my god.
Reasonable price.
What is happening?
Have you played Super Hot?
No, I have not.
If you did, you would know.
I know nothing. I know nothing.
Well, now's your chance, man. If you just look at Steam, check it out.
I've
It's
actually
pretty-
never even.
I can give you a code that'll get you'll get a really good discount on it.
I don't even. I've never been to the website. It's a website, right?
Yeah.
I've never been to the website. I don't
At the
even-
very least, you can play the
new
sequel,
one.
which
Yeah.
comes out on July 16th.
Delete.
You need a subscription for Steam, right?
No,
No, you just sign up. You need an email.
Really? That's it?
that's all you need.
That's it.
Oh, damn. I didn't know that.
It's a storefront. They don't need to do anything. They just want to sell
don't
you
know.
stuff.
You just like walk in that door.
Do you think?
Maybe.
You think you'll play it then?
I don't know
Super-
about that.
It is one of the best games that have come out in the last 10
Moving
years.
on.
It's for a reasonable price too.
It is. And the sequel's free with it.
Now I feel like I should just to know
comes out
what's
July 16th.
happening.
Joe, edit this out. Edit this out,
Edit it
Joe.
out.
You can try. It won't work.
Delete.
You think we're in control of this? No, none of us are.
So July 16th. But that's what I call a Ninja release, of which brings me to Tyler Blevins, all better known as Ninja. He live streamed on YouTube, his first since Mixer announced to be shutting down and him becoming a free agent. And it drew over 100,000 people to watch him.
And so check it. Ninja is Mr. Twitch. I don't care what anyone says. He literally made Twitch
He did.
Twitch. I feel
100%.
like, and
Yep.
he like legitimized streaming as
Streaming.
a celebrity like job that you could have.
Arguably, for me, I'm going to say Drake did that by streaming with him.
Sure, but I mean, Drake needed someplace to go, and he
absolutely.
went to Ninja.
Absolutely. And he definitely made Fortnite what it is.
Yes.
That 100%, he 100% made Fortnite what
Fortnite
it is.
wouldn't be as big as it is now.
Correct.
Yeah, and then very recently he moved to Mixer, which was a big deal because he had kind of built such a big following on Twitch and Fortnite itself that to go to a rival company was a big deal.
And also, I think his viewership went to like 10% of what it was before because there's just so many less
Yeah.
people on Mixer. And so, to him to go to YouTube,
Right.
which is, a secondary thing, and he drew 100,000 people for his very first live stream on that is pretty a big deal.
Yep. That's what he does. That's like his job. Let me go to a new platform and just bring a lot of people.
Yeah.
Let me just blow it up real quick.
Yeah,
in the
he's
best
like
way.
he's like that person at the party where everything is happening, and then like the parents come home and he's like, "This ain't done. We're going next door."
and then the parents join in.
Yeah, parents like, "Hell, well, let's go over to Cliff's."
Yeah, exactly.
And then they go.
And then Good.
Oh, man. I was really hoping it would be something along the lines of their name is Cliff or something. That was great. But he hasn't said if YouTube will become his permanent home, but it's a really good start for their now homeless, in a sense, streamer.
Yep. Good for them.
Yeah,
A
very
lot
good
of
for
people were saying that he was doing it just to prove numbers, essentially, so that when people start fighting over getting exclusivity of him.
them. Oh yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a
I could
great
go
move.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a great move. Like like a athlete who's in his very last year of his contract, who's just showing off like no matter what. It's just like, oh, I want that guy. And then,
I can't wait for Ninja to get old. I mean that in the best way because he's a young
Yeah.
dude, right? He's in his early 20s, mid 20s or
I
something.
think he might be in his early 30s.
Wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay,
Yeah.
Wait, but then we'll be old.
that's fine. I'm for it.
Working on being Yoda. It's going to
Yeah.
be great.
Ooh.
Nah.
I'm enjoying. I want to know what like an aged streamer is gonna be
I
that
do, yeah.
that has a following since their 20s. Like,
Yeah.
what's that gonna look
Yeah,
like?
I wonder what it's going to be like because I wonder if this is going to be like an athlete who is signed right out of college and is making all this money and he's like, oh, I'm going to be making all this money for years to come. And then he
Right.
gets like an injury or he gets cut because he just doesn't do well. And then he has to work at Walgreens for the rest of his life, Like I wonder if
know.
I wonder if
God.
that's how it is with streamers. Not like Ninja in general, but like
I don't know
streamers
what
in
he would
general.
break.
Or the industry.
no, I
would
just mean the
change.
industry.
Something
Oh.
would shift. And
Yeah,
you
because
wouldn't
right
be the
now-
best
Sure.
in
Yeah, 'cause
whatever
right
the
now-
new game is.
Yeah,
or-
because right now it's all dependent on the people donating money or subscribing to them. So if like they kind of grow out of it, or who knows how long this is going to go on for.
Or just
Personally, I just
the,
wonder.
The next game's gonna be like llama surgery, which is just so much different than anything else. That
Yeah.
your skills don't like
like-
translate, and then
Yeah.
I could see kids growing up and now they don't have their parents to ask for like the subscriptions, and then they're like, "Well, I think I'd rather eat than have the subscription to Ninja."
Yeah.
It just
And I
makes
can
me
still
wonder.
watch it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like those kids are gonna get jobs.
Yeah.
Not in this economy.
Not anymore.
Not this year,
Yeah.
babe.
I do wonder what it's going to look like in 10 years or 5
Yeah,
years, what the
absolutely.
streaming platform or everything is going to look like.
Right.
And then in the last bit of news, Amanda, you have our indie corner.
I do. So I've talked about this before, but I really enjoyed the indie game development studio Spider, and they just released their next title for an upcoming game, and they're calling it Steel Rising. It looks dope. You're like an android, but then like he's also turn of the century. So you're fighting like a king and his android army, but you have like. Imagine Battle Angel Lita, but she has like a powdered wig, but also kind of looks like a geisha.
All right,
it's
I'm sold.
amazing. Google it. It's called Steel Rising by Spider.
Any indication what
Rising.
kind of game it is?
No,
Okay.
they always do RPGs, third person
Oh,
RPGs.
okay.
Yeah. They're not going to do like a roguelike
No.
next.
They do third person RPGs.
This is a romantic visual novel.
Yeah.
They most recently made Greedfall. Before that, Technomancer and Bound by Flame, and their games are very evocative of like that Mass Effect generation of '90s RPGs when RPGs were great.
Yeah.
I got to play more of those.
Yeah. I always meant to play Greedfall. I just never
It's
went
good.
back to it. Yeah. Nice. All right. And then now that brings us to my favorite segment, Turn Up for What?
Turn up for what?
And this week, Joe from Katsusando is bringing it to us.
Welcome to another summer week in Animal Crossing. This fantastically sunny week has brought us wetsuits for swimming, sea creatures when diving, and the tasty treat of scallops. The first Summer Wave update landed on July 3rd, with Nintendo themselves sending each islander a snorkel and enticing them to go into the cool waters. After stopping by the local Nook's Cranny and purchasing a stylish wetsuit, islanders can now jump and flip into the ocean surrounding their island, dive for all sorts of sea creatures, and if you are truly lucky, you might just come across Pascal after you catch a delectable scallop. Trade it to the utterly out there otter, and he'll leave you with a special mermaid-themed DIY and some words of wisdom to ponder. July 7th was Tanabata, also known as the Star Festival. Specialty bamboo trees are available for order at Nook's to celebrate, so make sure to order one and add your wishes to the colorful strip of paper on the tree. And now, on to the turnips. This week, as reported by the Sow Jones, turnips took a hit this week, selling rather high at an average of 106 and only selling as high as 460 by midweek. With most islanders taking time off to go swimming, the market unfortunately is sinking. Hopefully it will bounce back by next week. And that's it for now. This is Joe from Katsusando, signing off and reminding you to look up for the shooting stars, watch your step to avoid pitfalls, and always, always save your rusted parts. Back to you, Dragons.
Turnip for what?
I love that segment.
You can really add a note to that bamboo tree?
No.
Oh, okay.
That would be cool.
But in real life, you can.
In real life, if we were in town on Tuesday, I was going to get a bamboo tree, and then I was going to see if everybody wanted to bring. I wanted to run around and see if hand everybody a colored strip, and I wanted to put it on the bamboo. But you can read the bamboo strips, though.
Okay.
If you go up to the tree and tap on it,
Really?
depending on the villagers in your town and the specialty guests,
Okay,
you can
that's
tell
all right.
whose wishes are whose.
That's pretty good.
kinda really cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's awesome.
I definitely
It's super
planted
cute.
mine, but I didn't think twice about it.
Yeah, I have like 40 of them. They are
Awesome.
everywhere. It's amazing.
Awesome.
That's pretty great. And now that'll do it for the news, and that brings us to our Gamers Digest.
Yum.
And this week's Gamers Digest, Troy.
Yeah, Gamers Digest is our segment where we like to take a beloved video game and then ask, what if it was a sandwich? What if? What if? What if? Because we think outside the box.
Podcasts don't have to make sense.
Not this one.
Never.
So the video game I would like to bring to you all is a game that came out 30? 40? 30.
Yeah. We're not that old.
The North American release for this game was 30 years ago this year. It is the original Final Fantasy.
What is that?
I'm going to punch you. Do you want to be on this podcast?
Because the game's so old, I feel like, and I've never played it, I feel like this is a sandwich that people don't eat anymore. You know how they have like those 1920s drinks that you put like raw
Okay.
egg into? It was super
Right.
popular at the time.
Definitely.
And then people just, they're not bad. People just stopped drinking it. I feel like it's that, but a sandwich.
This is like the Bloody Mary of sandwiches.
Yes.
Yes.
Only it's like the Bloody Mary that nobody drinks anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was about to say it's like the original Bloody Mary that everybody were like, we could improve on that, and then they just have every other
and
year.
then some people are
I-
like, let's put a little more hot sauce in it. Let's put a little more celery in it.
I think
Yeah.
for sure this sandwich has a giant beefsteak tomato in it.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
You
Wow.
don't look happy about that.
Oh,
I
man.
hate them.
A beefsteak tomato is just a big tomato, right?
That it's a very thick, big tomato.
Right.
What if it's a bacon sandwich? Because those were super popular. People don't really do just bacon anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
Like
It's
a
almost like a
BLT?
BLT. Yeah.
No.
A bacon sandwich.
Just bacon.
Oh, this has no lettuce.
Just,
Yeah,
just
no
a,
lettuce.
just
No lettuce.
bacon and a big thick
They
cut of
didn't need
tomato.
vegetables back then.
It's on some horrible bread too, like rye.
Oh, it's definitely on rye.
I love rye bread.
So that
make it
that
not
explains it. So it's on rye bread.
and the bacon works because bacon is objectively delicious and everyone loves bacon. So
Objectively, yes.
right, it is a Final Fantasy and
Brian,
everyone
you're
loves
wrong.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah. So I agree with that. So a rye sandwich. So like a bed of bacon, some really thick cut beefsteak tomato on it.
Right. What kind of does it have a sauce? What kind of
I don't think they really did sauces back then.
like no.
Like
No,
maybe like a
just
mayonnaise.
butter.
I was
Just
about to say
butter?
lard. Just
Yeah,
a
lard.
huge
Yeah.
pile
Just like
of
a
lard.
thick knife full of lard just slathered on both sides of the bread. It's
What?
almost like spilling.
Wait, but what is the lard?
Okay, I've never played this game. Someone else should
Yeah,
add
yeah,
it.
yeah.
What are you all doing to my Final Fantasy right now? This lard, beef, tomato, bacon,
you know what?
mayonnaise,
The lard
rye
makes sense because
sandwich.
the lard is heavy
What?
and the game is heavy.
Gosh, no. Final Fantasy is a classic. It's a classic. I don't want
This sandwich is.
Oh, yeah. I remember my dad talking about this rye beefsteak sandwich of old. Yes.
So Troy, what do you envision
No.
this sandwich being?
No, see,
Yeah.
I can get on board with your like BLT mentality. This is a very
Just
classic
B.
sandwich,
Just a
which
B.
at first had very few ingredients. You had you're 4 different heroes. You're just trying to beat a bad villain. Like there's nothing much else to it. There's not much of a story to it beyond that. It's just very simple. It's very classic because it hooks you in with its taste, so to speak. So I would go with a classic BLT. 4 ingredients for 4 heroes. You got your bacon, got your lettuce, got your tomato, and you got your bread. That's it.
I like it. I like it because I do like it because of the way you described it. Because you said it was because of the 4 heroes. There's
Yes.
4 ingredients. I like that.
I'm saying that's what we were talking about. It's on rye bread.
It's
and
on rye
It
bread.
might have a little bit of, might be a little heavy on the mayo /
You all,
lard.
Ooh,
you
yeah.
all are describing Final Fantasy 13 is what you're doing.
I like that game.
Hey, this sounds like a sandwich I would eat. I'm not. Hey,
Yeah,
what you guys are describing, I would probably eat.
You would
Yeah.
eat a
But I'm saying
lard-filled sandwich.
It's like it started with something very simple, 4
Okay.
characters and a villain, and by then it's just like this open world and everything is happening, and there's
I mean, she said 4 ingredients: rye bread, lard, bacon, and thick tomato.
I'm just pointing this out here. Is lard's delicious. I mean, you
It
just
is.
like you put it on the bread and then you fry both sides and just
That sounds like an
don't
old
be
time.
hating.
That sounds like an old timey sandwich.
Okay, as the Final Fantasy 1 players here, Brian, you and myself, if we had to equate the lard to something that's actually in the game, what would the lard be, so to speak?
the villain.
Okay,
Because it's trying to murder you.
because that lard's gonna get you.
It's going to get you.
Wait, who is the main villain of that?
Nobody knows.
Nobody
Just like
knows.
nobody knows where lard comes from. It's just there.
Nobody wants to know.
Nobody
where
wants
lard.
to
No
know.
one ever wants to know.
Do you guys want to know where lard comes from?
Oh, I know where it comes
Okay.
from.
Okay, I just want to point out I haven't played this game, nor would I eat this sandwich. It's perfect.
Same. Yep. Agreed.
It's Garland. The main villain is Garland.
Yeah.
His
And
name
you
is
know what?
Garland.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will give you guys this much. For me, Final Fantasy, I played through the whole thing. I got to the very end of Final Fantasy, like the final boss, like when the boss turns into a new boss.
You
and
got
then
to
a new
the
boss.
lard.
Got to the lard. and what the lard does is it switches around your menu. Like if you could attack or have items, it just takes them away. It attacks your menu. It attacks your menu.
I remember that. Yeah.
I couldn't finish the game because it kept on randomly taking things that I need to beat it. It was just a random thing.
See-
And so I feel like if I were to just have that sandwich, I would be taking that risk all over again.
I think this is perfect because like it's gonna be a BLT and you'd get the bread a little crispy, and I think that for some people it was just crispy enough, and for other people it was a little too greasy. So
Okay,
depending on whether you thought it was just a thin layer of butter to make it perfect or it was a thick crust of lard is your own personal opinion.
Yeah.
You see what happened was it was a BLT, but it attacked the sandwich and got out the lettuce.
Oh man.
So
that
now
makes
it's
sense.
just the bacon and the thick cut of tomato.
Man, get the lettuce out. My favorite Zeppelin album.
Get the lettuce out. Yeah.
I don't know how we made this into a story, but it's working.
I see it. I see what you're saying, Mandy.
Yeah.
I see it.
So you agree with the lard sandwich?
It's a BLT. Take from it what you will.
Take the L and the T. It's a B.
the BLT.
No, the T's still there. It's the
it's still
thick cut tomato.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
do
you're
you
right.
think
You're
the
right.
T stands
You're right.
for?
You're so right. Stupid me.
So we all agree it's just our own personal interpretation about whether this is good or not.
Yes, I like it. So it could be either or of those sandwiches.
Great.
Nailed it.
Great.
Did it.
All right.
And
So-
that's our Gamer's Digest.
Yum.
Yum.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm not eating that sandwich.
Now,
No.
now that brings us to our Dragon of the Week.
It's the dragon of the week. Oh, it's so sweet. It's the dragon of the week. It'll make you weep. Dragon of the week. Dragon of the week. Dragon of the week is our chance to talk about and learn about things in the industry, whether it's people, companies, patents, I don't know, places.
Yeah. Let's talk about
Please
video
be
game
talking
places.
about patent number LJ112459.
Oh man, I love that patent. It's so good.
Yeah,
Oh, my
tell us what it
goodness,
did for
no.
the industry.
We're gonna wait on that one.
My favorite patent is Oswald, okay?
So yeah, Brian is going to learn us something on someone in the industry. So
Yeah.
take it away, Brian.
I hope to, at least. So this week, my Dragon of the Week is Eric Barone, creator of Stardew Valley, and he is also known as
yes.
Concerned Ape.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there a
He's
reason?
he's one man.
He is a one-man operation. So Eric Barone was born in Southern California, but early in his life, his family moved to outside of Seattle to a little town called Auburn. It was here that he learned to love nature, and his brother exposed him to video games. And while playing these video games, he fell in love with a very special video game. Anybody have any guesses?
Mandy.
Harvest Moon.
How did you know? That's right. It was Harvest Moon. And he really enjoyed like the laid back nature of the game. And even though it was small, it didn't force you to do anything. You could play on your farm. You could talk to villagers. You could do whatever you want every single day. It wasn't linear. It was just like, whatever. Here's your town. Do what you want. And so and he really liked computers growing up, but he never had any ambitions of creating a video game. When he was about 18 or 19, he was in a band and they released an album. And he thought it'd be really cool if it had a video game to go with it. So he created a game like Curse of Monkey Island and included it with the album online.
Oh.
Wow.
Apparently it wasn't very good.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
But
That'll
still,
do
it was a free game that came with the album. What the hey? But he would eventually go on to college, and even though he liked creating that game, he read about the long, stressful hours the developers had to work, and so he completely changed his major to computer science, and he attended the University of Washington, Tacoma. He ended up graduating in 2011, and he did what everyone does when they graduated. He started looking for an entry-level job. Unfortunately,
Wait, what do you mean? When I graduated, I just sat there on my couch waiting for something to happen. Until...
I just assumed I never graduated. I don't know. I just assumed that's what people think, all right?
Dear God.
But unfortunately, like a lot of other people, he soon realized that no one would hire him. He wasn't sure why they weren't, but he decided it must be because he doesn't have any experience and that he should improve his skills.
Fair enough.
So he figured he should learn how to code. So he set out to make a video game to kind of hone in his skills. So it was just supposed to be practice, so he could put another skill on his resume. He was still looking for jobs while doing this. It's not like he ever had a talk with his girlfriend. Was like, hey, listen, I'm not going to be looking for a job anymore. I'm working on my stuff. It's like, no. Don't worry. You're still looking for a job. And so something that could make him stand out above everyone else and, not something, a game that made him happy in his youth, Harvest Moon, seemed like a good place to start, and that way he wouldn't have to reinvent the wheel. And it gave him some sort of heading on where to take the game. And sure enough, this game is what would encompass his next 4.5 years and become Stardew Valley.
Wow.
And now you might have heard that he made this game by himself.
That is what I've heard.
Yeah. You might not realize, though, is that what that actually means. It means he spent 12 hours a day, 7 days a week on this game.
Okay, so this did become
Wow.
a job. Like,
Yes.
it started off like, hey, I'm going to do this on the side, but then it got serious.
Yeah, because he was like, I really want to get an entry-level job. Let me, get into this. And he would go from working on the game to his job at a local community theater, then back home to sleep, and then the same thing all over again the next day.
Wow. Was it a movie theater or like a? Like
No,
a
it was an
play?
actual theater, like a community theater.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and he did all of the art, all of the programming, all of the music, all of everything.
Whoa.
And it wasn't until a couple of months before the game would come out that anybody would even get to play the game.
Wow. Really?
Yep, not even his publisher, Chucklefish, who did not even play the game when they signed him to publish it.
Really?
Yeah.
What, they just saw a clip of it and was like,
he
okay.
showed it to them,
Yeah.
but they didn't actually play it themselves.
That's the power of Harvest Moon right there.
That is.
They're just Harvest Moon fans.
Yeah. Eric never asked any questions online on how to do things. He only ever browsed forums and other articles until he came across the answer he was looking for. He felt like if he asked a question, he would have some sort of hidden liability to the person answering it.
Oh, smart.
And that it would weigh on him. So he decided to just not do it. He's a notorious perfectionist. He made over 8 tracks for the Winter Festival alone throughout development, and only 1 was ever used.
Wow.
Really?
Dear God.
Yeah, he would constantly tweak portraits that the NPCs would use, and sometimes only changing just a couple of pixels. Like, he was that much of a perfectionist. He was like, I want them to have a headband. I don't like it. And then he would change it to like just hair. I don't like it. And then he'd change it to something else. And through all of this, he wasn't even sure if the game was fun, because he had been playing it every single day for 4.5 years and had no semblance of what it was anymore.
Oh, God.
You know? And he almost gave up making it several times, but thankfully never went through on it. He was finally ready to release the game on February 25th, 2016. And just a couple of hours before the game was to be released, he discovered a bug that broke the game.
No.
So as a one-man operation, he had to pour through the code by himself and make sure he fixed it before release. He actually said it was exhilarating, because he was like, well, I have to do this, this is just got to be done.
Right.
And so he ended up releasing several patches over the next couple of days after release to make sure the game was as good as it could be. I think it was some like 2 patches every single day for the next 3 to 5 days.
That's the nice thing about current games, is that you could fix them
while they're
out.
Oh, absolutely.
Original Harvest Moon didn't get that luxury.
No, it did not. And so, as many of you will know, within 14 days, the game sold over 500,000 copies, and within 2 months, over 1 million.
2 of those copies were you, Brian.
It was.
one for you, and one that you gifted Mandy and I for our wedding, I think.
did. Wow. That is that's how I know what year it was and when it was released, because it was when you guys got married.
Definitely one of the best wedding gifts we got.
We both played that entire game.
Yeah.
Is it that good? I haven't played it.
it's
I haven't played it at
phenomenal.
all.
It is that good.
We own it on the PC, and I bought it for the Switch.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they had it for the Switch.
And it lends itself well to both of those
Yes.
independently as well.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good. And he continued to work on the game by himself, and only ever took time off of it 6 months later to take a road trip with his friends and girlfriend. So even
That's
though he
some dedication right there.
even though he had made $20 million, he was like, nah, I'm still going to work on this just by myself.
And he donated it all to the local community theater that supported him. Come on, guys, theater.
Just also known as himself. And even after it released, he was still just a one-man operation all the way up until he was like, I think he made like an offhand blog post where he's just like, I'm going to put multiplayer into this. And then he came to regret that because he looked at coding multiplayer into the game. And he's like, nah, I'm going to hire some people. So he outsourced.
He looked at the game, looked at that 20 million, looked at the game, looked at the 20 million. Yeah, I got this.
Yeah, that's
You've
okay.
earned
They
it.
could do it.
I'm good.
So he had an outside crew do the multiplayer thing. But even after they did that, the next update was just done by him and 2 other people. And he still continues to work on it. He's still, I think right now it's up to 1.4. 1.5 is incoming, and 1.4 completely reworked everything about the game. Every single thing about the game had something reworked or touched.
I can't even imagine that, because when I played it that first year, it seemed done. Like it pretty polished. I mean, I didn't find any problems with it. No bugs.
Yeah, you would think that you sold 1 million copies in 2 months. All right, I would just do a couple of things.
It's probably fine.
Yeah, but no. In that first 6 months, he released like the farm layouts. He had it so you had 4 other options for your farm layouts.
Yeah.
He did all these other things with it. And it's like, I would think if I sold 1 million copies, that game must be pretty good. I don't have to do anything to this.
Tell him to stop working on it and start working on Witchbrook.
Yeah. I was about to
Witchbrook?
say, that's his next game that
okay.
nobody knows what it is.
And you know what? I don't care. Whatever it is, I'll play it.
Exactly. So the game has continued to do very well. And as Manda has said, he is working on a project that is not at all like Harvest Moon, and that has given him the freedom to do whatever he wants. He wakes up every single day, he goes to the computer, he reads a couple of articles, looks at their comments, and he's like, all right, cool, maybe I'll start working on this game. And then he works on it a little bit, and then he's like, all right, I'll go to sleep. And then he goes to sleep. Like he just does whatever he wants.
I gotta wonder. I gotta imagine that he's probably drawing from some other like inspiration. Like if he made his Harvest Moon, like is this going to be his Final Fantasy?
From what he has,
is this going to be his?
From what he has said, is this is
Persona?
not based on anything else. This is something that's completely and uniquely something that he wants to come up with.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know. Again, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's just going to be a JRPG. Nobody knows what it is.
It looks, if you've seen it,
Yes.
like a mixture between Stardew Valley and Harry Potter.
It does, but
Oh, just say Witchbrook.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see what it is whenever it releases.
5 years from
I
now.
was about to say years and
Hey,
years.
take
from
your time,
now.
bud. Take
Exactly.
your time.
He doesn't need the money, so he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, but
whenever he
I
wants.
need that game.
I know, I'm with you. So yeah, my hats are off to you, Eric Barone, for making the Harvest Moon game that I always wanted.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was really happy with it. And that's when I did very first box. I think I bought it within the first day it came out. At the very least, within the first
You
3
did.
days. I'm pretty sure it was the first day. And I started playing, and I remember I was telling you guys, I was like, you guys have got to play this game, especially you, Manda, because you were my fellow Harvest Moon aficionado who just loved these games growing up. And then you guys still hadn't bought, and I was like, well, I mean, their wedding's coming up. I'm just going to do it.
We were busy.
I know. Oh, I know. And you guys still played the game.
And this spawned there are a lot of Harvest Moon simulations out now, and I don't think that wave would have like resurged in the way that it did if it hadn't been
Without
for-
this game.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Even games that kind of sort of have to do with it, like a game called Raft, which is you're on an ocean and you have to build up your own platform, very much I think owes itself to Stardew Valley because it is a indie game success that could prove that, hey, you know, if you do some stuff where maybe you're building up a farm or you're building up a base of some sorts, that there is a market out there for it.
And the fact that one person can do something like that is that's
inspiring.
beyond
Inspiring.
human.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
Exactly. So yeah, that's Eric Barone, creator of Stardew Valley.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, very much. And but that unfortunately brings us to the end of this week's episode.
Bum,
Yep,
bum,
yep.
bum, bum.
You can always find us online.
Yeah, check us out at Twitter at TasteofDragons and also on Instagram at TasteofDragons. We got some YouTube content, and we're dipping our toes into Twitch
That's
these
right.
days. Some streaming content.
Yeah.
We'll be streaming periodically throughout the week, but
Yeah.
look for us every Monday and Wednesday for our new segment, Oops, I Bought 1,000 Games, where I play through 1,000 games that I accidentally bought. I didn't accidentally buy it. I just I didn't know how many games were in there when I bought it.
Well, because
Yeah.
they still added more games after you bought it.
Yeah, exactly. So, so check us out on Twitch at Taste of Dragons as well. Yeah. That's our online stuff.
Last week you played Mune Base,
Yeah,
which is
got to play Mune Base, which is a cat goes to the moon and has to or goes to a planet.
Goes to where?
A meown.
It goes to a meow.
It has to build a base.
Yeah.
Very cute, very fun survival game, and also Overland, which is like a tactical post-apocalyptic simulator.
I played that one.
Yeah,
I played that game.
Mune
It's
Base
interesting.
Was, yeah, Mune Base to me was very interesting because as a cat, because you're a cat
Yeah.
in an astronaut suit, but you're still a cat,
You're
so
still
you're
a cat.
pawing things in order to harvest them. You're eating food, but just the you're just like it's so cute.
That's adorable, yeah.
And next week we're gonna have 2 more bangers.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited
2
to get
more
through
bangers. Let's
these
do
games.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Join us.
of which Arcade Spirits was in there.
Yes. Yeah. If I come across games I've already played, I'm still gonna play them, but I'm not gonna finish them. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
of
talk
course.
about my experience.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
check us out on Twitch. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. We're all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
We got our
Oh,
tastes
yeah.
everywhere. We're tasting all sorts of dragons.
We got our
Tasting it to the Twitch.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tasting it to the Twitch. Hey, as long as it's one syllable, we can do anything, okay? But yeah, you can find us there. And
Our
then,
Saturday twitching still happening?
yes,
Is that consistent?
Yes,
Yep.
we still have.
Check us out, yeah.
we
Jen is
still have
going to be coming by on Saturday to play Last of Us to curse and freak out her way through most
Last
of
of
the
Us
game.
1 to curse.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Right.
she's actually hitting a point where she has not played yet. So this week will be the first time she will be playing something not
Oh.
again to play it with us. So she's
Ooh.
she's freaking out. It's
So this
great.
is Saturday, 8 o'clock?
No, it's Saturday. It depends on whenever the heck we want to start. But
Evening.
it's,
Usually it's around 5,
it's around
5 or
5-ish
6.
though,
Okay.
You
give or
should
take an hour.
just subscribe to our channel, and
Exactly.
then whenever we happen to stream, we'll just email you. It's
Yeah,
just-
you'll
it's very
know.
convenient.
You'll know.
Get those notifications
You'll
on.
know.
That's right.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and that'll do it for us though. As always, my name is Brian,
My name is Troy.
Amanda.
I'm Lewis.
And I'm Joe.
and we are.
The Taste of Dragons.
Brian, that's like 5 weeks in a
I
row,
know
man.
you just cursed it. You just
Hey,
cursed
you
it.
messed it up.
Have a great week, everyone. Not you, Troy, but everyone else.
Taste of Dragons Gaming Podcast, a podcast for everyone's taste.